Hello everybody, this is JT Productions and welcome back to another preview and prediction video for 2023. Today I'll be doing the Maryland Terrapins. Let's get into it. Well, last year Maryland went 7-5 in the regular season before beating NC State in the Duke's Mayo Bowl to go to 8-5. Not a bad year for Maryland, especially with their track record. Mike Locksley has gotten that team going over the past couple of seasons, and it's showing with how they're playing. They started the season at 3-0 before having a 7-point loss to Michigan on the road in Ann Arbor, which was a interesting sight to see, being that Michigan was coming off a playoff appearance. Then they beat Michigan State before having another close loss to Purdue. And their only losses in the first 7 weeks of the season were to the two teams in the Big Ten that made the Big Ten title. They ended up beating Indiana and Northwestern before their bye week, but what killed them was 3 straight losses after the bye week against Wisconsin, at Penn State, and against Ohio State. They were in that Ohio State game until the end of it, though. So I got to give them credit there. Then they finished the season off with wins against Rutgers and NC State to go to 8-5. Not a bad year for Locksley at all. So let's see what they're working with this year to see if I can't come up with a record. Well, they get back to Tua Tagovailoa's little brother, who transferred from Alabama to Maryland a couple of seasons ago. They also have Roman Hemby and Raymond Brown at running back. Their wide receivers, they don't have Dante Demas anymore, but they have 2 transfers. Tyrese Chambers coming in from FIU, and Caden Prather coming in from West Virginia, as well as Jashawn Jones and a bunch of other receivers. At tight end, Corey Dykels and Preston Howard lead the tight end group. And the offensive line, you have a couple of transfers, as well as senior left guard, senior center, and a junior right tackle. At the right guard position, a transfer from NC Central, Corey Bullock. And at the left tackle, Galeb Aidez coming in from Frostburg State, DeMarcus Dummerville coming in from LSU at guard, and Mike Purcell coming in from Elon at center. So they have some guys that can come in and hopefully make a difference on the offense. Now on the defensive side, you have a bunch of your guys as well as some transfers. Jordan Phillips coming in from Tennessee at defensive tackle could help them on the defensive line. And then at the corner, Jaquan Shepard coming in from Cincinnati is going to help them out a lot. Now, besides that, you have Quayshawn Fuller at defensive end, Tommy Eking DeSoto, Kellen Wyatt, Jay-Sean Barham, Ruben Hypolite, Dante Trader, Bo Braid, Corey Colley, and Trahib Still. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and look at the schedule. Well, you start the season with 3 non-con games, 2 against lower classification talent in Townsend and Charlotte. I think you're going to be able to get wins against them pretty easily. Then you play Virginia. Virginia last year had a very disappointing season. I don't think it's going to change this year. I think that Maryland gets a big win at home against Virginia to start 3-0 before going on the road to Michigan State. I think that Maryland's going to win this game, and I think they're going to win it big. I don't think Michigan State's going to be a good team this year, and I think you start out 4-0 before playing Indiana. And I think you're going to be able to beat Indiana as well and go to 5-0 before a big game on the road at Columbus against Ohio State in Columbus. This could be a top 15 matchup at this point, with Maryland being 5-0. Even though they hadn't beaten. Their best team they beat was probably Michigan State. But I don't think you're going to be able to beat Ohio State. I think their defense is going to be improved under Jim Knowles. I think their offense is still going to be humming with all the pieces they have. And I think you drop this one and go to 5-1. Then after that, you play Illinois. Illinois is a very tricky team. They're very physical, and they love to run the football, and they have a quarterback that can throw. I think that you get bitten by the I think you get bitten by the upset bug and get beaten by Illinois here to go to 5-2 before the bye week. I think Illinois is going to use that physicalness that they have to their advantage and get somebody that they're not supposed to beat. Then you go after the bye week on the road to Northwestern. I think you're going to be able to beat them easily. Northwestern's just in a hole right now after that situation with Pat Fitzgerald. So you are 6-2 before playing Penn State. At this point, you are still in the running for the Big Ten East, and this is going to be a big game for you at home against Penn State. However, I just think Penn State with that running game and Drew Aller is going to be too much for Maryland. While I think that they could put up a fight, I think Penn State's going to be able to beat them. So you're 6-3 before going on the road to Nebraska. Nebraska could be a tricky team as well. I just think with Mike Locksley having experience in the Big Ten, I think they're going to be able to go into Lincoln and get a win against Nebraska. But don't sleep on them. This could be a upset for Maryland. Then you play Michigan, a team that you had on the ropes last year. I don't think that you're going to have them on the ropes this year. They're just too physical. J.J. McCarthy, I think, is going to be a better quarterback this year than he was last year. And I think that they're going to be able to get you here and you'll go to 7-4. Then you go on the road to Rutgers for your rivalry game. And I think you're able to get the win against Rutgers, keep the wins coming, and finish the season 8-4. It's sad that Maryland is in the Big Ten East. If they were in the Big Ten West these last couple of years, they would be favored to win it every year. So, I mean, it is what it is. You're still a pretty good team, and you went 8-4. So, anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed, and Go Dogs.